What's going on, guys? Joey Franzen here at Flex Training Systems and chat. We just decided on the new shirt that we're gonna make. It was kind of a meme, and then we decided on it. But yeah, excited to show that to you guys. Today we're gonna be talking about number 2 right here. Where's my mouse? How to work around injuries. I saw this post the other day, and if you guys don't follow Dr. Pat Davidson, he posts a lot. He's really good at like taking an idea and then putting it into words in a way that's like presentable, right? He kind of deals more with general population, but some of the stuff can be applied to powerlifting. So if you're interested, yeah, you can follow him. Might be able to pick something, take something away from it. But yeah, let's go through what he said. The absolute statement: never train through pain is unrealistic. It's more about trying not to lose what you've built while not making it worse and buying time to heal simultaneously. This was in our notes, right? This is like just the stuff that we came up with chat a while back, like a month ago, I think. Might have been a long time ago, but this is an idea that has been with me since I started training people before I even got into powerlifting. And essentially, what we want to do is exactly that. You hurt something, you don't want to make it worse. So how can you maintain what you built while still trying to heal and not making it worse, right? Now, I know for a fact somewhere on my channel, I'd have to like go look for it. We talked about exactly this right here, right? So I think the example that I gave was, let's say you need to maintain a high level of frequency on your benching, right? And you're not, you typically, the way that you bench is like very strong, but your pecs are somewhat compromised, or maybe you're handling a little bit more than you should, or maybe you overshoot one day or whatever. There's a lot of different ways people get hurt. Recovery could be off point or not on point, or you're outputting more than you can, tolerate, whatever. You should get really tight pecs, you end up straining something. Early on in my career, this is very, very common. I used to do this literally all the time. And I would be so worried about like losing strength, and I would just train through it, and you'd be surprised how much you could push through pain. It was probably really dumb. But I'm going to give you guys some examples. Just pec, back, quad, quadricep. Like what happens if you hurt this thing and what exercises you could do to kind of get around it. But yeah, the mindset and the mentality is when you get hurt, you should continue to train. You don't want to just do nothing, right? Even if you really, really hurt something. Let's say you have surgery on a lower extremity. You could still do rows. You could still do lat pull downs. You could still do some sort of pressing. Obviously, you don't want to hurt it. But I think that blood flow that you create through training can help stimulate recovery. It can also just like mentally help you have some form of normalcy, right? Just because, as lifters, mentally, we need to be in the gym. We need to train. We need to progress. We need to push ourselves. When we don't have that, you can get depressed, right? That's why the Rona destroyed everyone when they couldn't train, right? So it's really, really important to not only when you're training, attack your training with that sort of relentless mindset, but let's say you get an injury. Okay, I'm still going to have that relentless mindset, but it's going to be towards fixing myself and getting myself better, right? So let's say you have an overuse pec injury from benching, right? I'm going to try to lay off of like rehab stuff and just talk about, everything kind of is going to rehab you, like creating any kind of motion, any kind of movement that's going to help, like I said, stimulate blood flow. Assuming your protein's on point, you're getting enough sleep, you're drinking water, all that stuff's handled. From a powerlifting perspective, let's say I have someone that hurts their pec. What do I have to do to their program so that they can continue to maintain their body as best that they can, right? So, and obviously I'm going to be speaking generally because I don't have a specific person. Like I don't have anyone in front of me. So let's say you have some pec pain, you could bench, but it hurts. And if you go ham and go really heavy, it's going to hurt even worse. Things you can try to do. You can try to bring your grip in. Obviously, take parts of the pec out of it. You still use your pecs when you use close grip, but you do it in a way where maybe you can get away with it. I know that for me, um, I've benched 452, 457 in comp using my pinky, or sorry, not pinky, ring finger, and then my ring finger in between my middle finger for bench grip when my normal is like closer to index. Um, it was just like an audible that I had to call to get it done. You can try doing that. You might have to do close grip for a couple sessions. Maybe you replace your middle session with just close grip. What I really like to do that's really simple is you just do incline pressing, any kind of incline pressing, incline dumbbells, incline barbell, seated overhead press, seated dumbbells. You're still using your tricep. You're using more anterior delts, obviously, right? So you're still gonna be pressing. You're just changing the angle as to not aggravate the area that's damaged. So hopefully, after a couple of sessions, you can heal up. I also like to train the opposite. So if your pecs are messed up, you want to train your back. I love back training. I could train back. I used to train back 3 times a week. Like literally, I would just fucking spend all day in the gym, just training back. Like lat pull downs, anything with cables, barbell rows, T-bar rows, chest supported rows, single arm rows, single arm vertical. You can there's a really cool one where you put the cable all the way in the bottom and you're kind of on your knees in one arm, or you could even be on your elbow and you're just rowing just to kind of mimic a vertical row. Alex, if you're in chat, you could do that. I got to show you how to do it. But yeah, there's a lot of different stuff you could do. Like I said, training your back is not going to hurt your other lifts. You're still, this motion is like loosening up the area, helping some blood flow get in there. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever wake up and you have an injury, you feel kind of stiff, it's very sore, and then you just work out, and then after the workout, it feels a lot better. You didn't use that area at all, but like I said, just loosening up the body, heating up, is going to trigger, what the hell? It's going to stimulate blood flow, stimulate recovery, and you're going to get better faster than if you did absolutely nothing and were just a potato who was sad because it got hurt. Right? But yeah, just try to keep pressing, just change the way that you're doing it, and understand that taking a half step back or just pausing your progress while continuing to train. You could even work on other things during this time, right? We always talk about we have a limited amount of recovery. Maybe you were neglecting your overhead pressing, you want to work on triceps or something like that. Now's the time, right? Now you can do that because you're not training your competition bench press just as hard. Somebody said bird dog rows. To be honest, I've never heard of that in my life, and I've been around a long time. But yeah, pecs. I would say it's one of the easier things to work around because you can press so many different ways, right? The shoulder is the most mobile, joint in the body. So moving on to the back. Back injuries, they happen, I think early on in your career. It's more, especially if you pull mixed grip sumo and you have not gone through many months of just straight conventional training to really build and solidify your back. Pulling mixed sumo over time, I always say it's you're gonna get hurt, especially if you're new. You just have imbalances. Naturally you're gonna have imbalances doing that. So I think a lot of double overhand conventional core, that works your core, but having strong abs, all that stuff is gonna protect you. The back is one of those things where if you get hurt, let's say you can squat but you can't deadlift, great, continue to squat. Be careful, don't deadlift. Maybe the shearing force of deadlift is too much. You have to kind of, with all these injuries, you have to kind of feel it out and figure out, what can I get away with? What can I do to still train something similar to what I was doing before without making it worse? Right? Let's say you can't squat or deadlift. Anything on your back, right? Can't do either. Well, the one thing that I like to use is we have belt squats, we have leg press. You can do single leg press. You could do stationary body weight split squats. You can hold the kettlebell and do that. That's kind of, you have to be careful, right? There might be a threshold that you can tolerate like that, but the idea is you want to continue to build and train your legs. Hell, you can even do hack squats if that doesn't hurt, right? Find the movement. Same philosophy with all these things. Find the movement that doesn't cause you pain while still training similar, similar areas. Now, by doing this, depending on how long that area is going to be out of commission, like let's say, you just have to completely lay off your back for a little while, you're just training your legs. What happened with me was when I was young, as I had this crazy imbalance where I had these like super strong legs, right? My legs were strong as hell, but I couldn't do anything with my back. Like all my squats were like super upright. I was arching in my lower back, my knees were going forward, and I just was not using my posterior chain at all because it had regressed so much, dealing with whatever injury I had. This was many, many years ago, right? So you have to be aware of that and start back slow. You really want to reinforce that area. I truly believe, and this is true for a lot of my super strong, like high level lifters, when you can build your body up like so far past the point of like little knick-knack injuries, right? Like you have like an insane conventional deadlift, or you have like an insane, amount of muscle on your frame, your chances of getting injured are just going to be that much less because you're so well developed, right? That's my like take to it. If you think about, if you train bodybuilding accessories and you're using full range of motion on everything, by doing that, that is sort of a form of prehab rehab. Like you are literally reinforcing your body from all different angles. You're gonna spend a lot less time like doing like little movements here and there to like try to um, like fix your core and just like fix your imbalances here and there. If you're already reinforcing those areas like on your own through, lighter weight. Obviously, like if I have a really strong bench press, right? I can do my dumbbells in like a higher rep range. I can do my shoulders in a higher rep range. I don't need to do triples on, those smaller muscle groups. It just doesn't even make sense, right? But yeah, bodybuilding, in my opinion, is a form of prehab rehab. And I was told once by a very good doctor who works with a lot of pro athletes, some that I look up to, and he was just telling me, like, he's like, Joey, like, you're not a rehab guy. Like, you already have way too much muscle, or like the area that we were talking about, which was my knee specifically. He's like, it's so reinforced already that I'm not gonna have you do these little rehab exercises, you know, here and there. You just need time, like lay off of it, but keep training. Don't do things that irritate it, and you'll be good. So, which is a contrast from other doctors that have told me not to do anything, just become a potato. So this advice, stuck with me, and I pass it on to my lifters. Now, if you hurt your quad, right? Let's say you're squatting, like you pop a quad or something, you strain, you did warm up right, whatever. Again, all this stuff can be prevented by like proper warm up. I would say, for me personally, when it comes to the pecs, I don't do anything. Don't be like me. I don't do anything before I literally just lay down and start benching, right? But I can get away with that. I have short arms. I don't know, genetics. Like, don't do that. Warm up your pecs, stretch it out. I actually like doing face pulls and lat pull downs before I bench. It does make me feel a lot better. But anyway, talking about the quads now. Let's say you strain your quad. This is a no-brainer. Just you can train deadlifts. You can still do conventional, right? You can still do a lot of things to reinforce your body, right? Train your hamstrings. Do whatever you got to do to. You're still training your legs. You're still training your lower body. You're just not using the area that is specifically causing you pain in the moment. Now you could argue that if you have like really light pain, like you have some pain, but you're doing like body weight stuff with the area that is damaged, it is risky, but it is debatable if that is going to help you bounce back faster. I personally don't like to do that. I know some people, like, they'll intentionally cause themselves some pain to like try to get through it. Actually, I take that back. When it comes to the back, my back specifically, if I have like 7 out of 10 pain the first day I hurt it, and then I wait 2 days, and then my next lower body day comes, and then I train and it gets up to like a 6, but it was like a 4 before that, I might continue that pattern because there's a trend, right? Okay, the pain is starting to go down slowly over time. Even though, like, if I have a meet coming, this is like crunch time, right? If I have a meet coming up, or maybe I just don't care and I just want to train, right? I will literally train through pain if I'm not making it worse at the end of it, right? So like I said, initial pain about a 7 to 8. Wait a couple of days, goes down to about a 4. And then when I train, it goes up to like a 6. and then wait a couple days, it goes down to like a 2 or a 3, and then it goes up to like a 5. You see what I'm saying? So it's getting a little bit better over time, right? I'll follow that trend, and then I can kind of predict, okay, I should be good by this time. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether that area needs to be addressed on its own to prevent it from happening, that's going to depend on what it is. If it's just like, yeah, I was really dumb, I shouldn't have taken that heavy single, and I ended up straining something, that's on me. That's like, that totally could have been avoided, and I forced that upon myself. If it's like I wasn't even doing anything, and I just was warming up light, and I heard something, then there might be something else going on there. You know what I mean? You might have some weird imbalance that needs to be addressed. But I'm a firm believer, like, if my super strong guys that have been doing it for a long time, if you build everything, if you just make a fucking ball of muscle, right? Just these orbs of muscle, you're not going to get hurt. Full range of motion, work out all the kinks, have your warm-up regimen, take care of yourself, stay hydrated. I could go crazy into in depth on the quad. Like, there's all kinds of different stretches and things I learned when I did have to deal with. I was rehabbing a patellar tendinopathy, but I mean that's too much for this video. But yeah, so the mindset, like I said, like Dr. Pattinson said, holy sand, thank you so much for the sub. You want to train. You don't want to lose what you built, and you don't want to make it worse while you buy time to heal. That's really what we're trying to do. That's the takeaway, really. Just don't, like, just literally keep your spirits up. You get that little injury, change your goals, right? Okay, now it's not I need to hit a new PR. It's I need to do everything that I'm doing to attack my recovery, to keep my body strong, so that way I can recover, get back in the gym, and then continue to get stronger, right? But be patient. Trust the process, don't rush anything, and just be smart. Right? You, like, people underestimate how much time they actually have, especially younger lifters that want to be strong right now. They need to like, this is another video, but like everybody looks on the internet and they see what everybody else is doing, and they think that everybody's just PRing all the time, but like everybody's got their ups and downs. But if you're looking at the internet where literally millions of people are, you're always gonna see PRs, right? So you think that that's like a constant, when in reality a lot of these people have depression. A lot of these people, you know, it ain't all sunshine and daisies, right? Anyway, let me get a hashtag mindset. Hashtag mindset in the comments down below. I hope you guys are able to take something away from this, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. That's it, brothers. I miss having